Hi, I'm Sean. Listen, I always feel honored when somebody chooses me to be their reader, and so I just want to welcome you to my profile, invite you to take a look at what I've written below about what it would be like for you when you read with me. Basically, we're going to focus on what's possible for your life. We're going to use the tarot cards to connect with your highest self, to discover that and help you self-actualize. It will be fun. It will be inspiring. I almost said expiring. Hopefully not, because we're trying to build for you the life that makes you feel happy, gives you joy, and lets you feel as though you are being who you are truly meant and want to be. I hope it didn't sound too salesy. Anyway, thank you for choosing me to be your reader today. It's very nice to meet you. Good morning. It is Sean. There is a beautiful stream of sunlight coming through my window that is giving just a beautiful glow to these cards. I can't tell from my monitor if you can see it or not. Yeah, you can see a little bit in the wall where the blinds are moving. You can see the sunlight kind of like showing itself and going away, showing itself and going away. And it's doing that on the cards too. Okay, so we have 3 piles per usual. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And just to let you know a little bit about what we're going to find out in this reading, we're going to take a look at the energy that's going to be magnified inside of you. We're going to find out the energy of the day itself. We're going to find out where you will go for your birthday or spend some time. So it could be a journey, like a journey that you take, that you travel to a place, or it could just be that a part of your birthday is going to be spent in this place, and we'll find that out when we get the reveal. And then finally, we're going to find out how your inner child will feel on this birthday. Birthdays are a time of celebration, and typically when we think of celebrating birthdays, we remember some birthday party we either had as a child or went to as a child. And so I thought it would be beautiful, wonderful, and fun to bring our inner child into the conversation for our pick a card today. So take a second, take a look, see which of these 3 piles is calling to you today, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, lovers of number 1. That sounds weird. How can I say that better? Hey, number 1s. Oh yeah, that's what Kino Tarot says. I like that. I never like saying pile. I don't like calling people piles. It just sounds very impersonal, right? So in the videos I do for the channel, I typically say group 1, group 2, group 3. And our Patreon right now is small but mighty, and so it's likely that it's not a group. It's likely that there's just one of you listening to any individual pile right now. So I didn't want to say group because it just didn't feel true. And I have this, if you know me well, which actually all of you know me pretty well, I have to speak the truth. I can't speak in lies or vagaries. So I'll call you number 1. How about that? Hey, number 1, welcome to your reading. So we are going to find out some stuff about your birthday, most of which is going to be a surprise to you right now. And then on the day it happens might be even more of a surprise, because depending on how far from now your birthday is, you may forget everything we find out here today. Okay, so there is always a way. This is the energy that is going to be magnified in you on your birthday. So definitely I'm getting the sense here that you're going to feel very powerful. It's quite possible that you have an idea of what you want to do for your birthday, how you'd like to celebrate it. And it may seem very grand, very almost out of reach, depending on, like, maybe you're doing a milestone birthday and there's something that you really, really want to do for that birthday. And maybe you've mentioned it to people that you're close with, or maybe you've been too afraid to even mention it to anybody else, and you've just had the thought about it to yourself and have dismissed it as impossible. However, I am getting the sense that you will find a way between now and then to make that happen, to have the kind of birthday celebration you want. And you're going to feel very powerful. You're going to feel very proud of yourself, and definitely have this energy of honoring you in your birthday, because that's what birthdays are, right? The birthday is to honor you. Whether you celebrate it alone or with somebody else, it's celebrating the fact that you are here on the earth, and you're going to feel so good about yourself and what you've been able to accomplish for yourself for this birthday. You will know, you'll have that sense of where there's a will, there's a way. There's nothing that can stop you. When you set your mind to something, the answer is always yes. There is no no. Listen, there is no no. No only happens when we accept no. And that is, easy to say, particularly, standing over here or sitting over here behind the microphone and not facing anything that looms large right now personally. But I can completely understand and have experienced myself many times where it feels like there's no. But when I look back on those situations, ones that I pushed through and achieved or made happen, and ones that I didn't, the no was always coming from outside of me. Initially, I should say. That's what we tend to fall into the trap of believing, that there is an external no that can keep us from having something. But really what happened was I chose to believe that no. And I'm getting that for you. You're going to have that very strong understanding of if you want it, you can have it. There is no no. There is always a way if you're willing to adjust your thinking, move some things around, choose one thing, the thing that you really want over the other thing that you may not want as much. Be willing sometimes to postpone and get it later. There is a way. So whatever it is that you are hoping to do for your birthday, there is a way. The energy of the day is passion. So you're going to be feeling a lot of passion. This seems to mean more excitement than it does romantic passion, though romantic passion might also be a part of your day. But I'm getting a feeling of connectedness for you. The feeling of being in alignment between things that excite you and the reality that you're living, right? A lot of times we can have things that inspire and excite us, and we aren't living those things. So it might actually be that this event or circumstance that you bring about for your birthday that allows you to feel in your power and capable, and that there is nothing that is barred from you, that it is something that you are very, very passionate about. This could be something that you have wanted to do for a very long time. And now you're at that age where you're like, listen, I don't want to go all of my life without having experienced this or gone to this place. So I'm definitely getting a sense of the energy of the day being a dream fulfilled, a desire fulfilled that is in line with things that move you, things that make you feel. It's something that makes you feel. You're going to feel so connected. Like when you're, in the autumn, for those places that have autumn, when the wind is blowing and there's a leaf that's just like floating along the wind. And that leaf isn't thinking about it. It's just going along for the ride. And it's probably having a really good time. Like if a leaf had a central nervous system, it would be enjoying the feel of that effortless ride. And I'm getting that is going to be the energy of your day. Just a sense of rightness on your birthday. That you are definitely in alignment with things that are exciting for you. And feeling a sense of fulfillment. Government building, public services, administrative agency. So you will be spending your time on your birthday somewhere serious. Now, serious might not be the best word for me to put there, but that's how I tend to interpret government buildings, public services. So this could mean a couple of things, okay? Some that are very stringent seeming, and formal, and then some not so much. For instance, if you go to a park, which is part of the Parks and Recreation Service of your government, that is still a government building. There are certain museums in certain cities and states that are fully funded by the government. So that is still a government building. And the provision of that park, the provision of those kinds of museums is a public service, right? So it could be that you find yourself in a place on your birthday where you are in a building that is owned and operated by the government, or near a building. Because again, if you go to a public beach or you go to a public park, those buildings are owned by the government, but they, you don't really feel like you're in the government or dealing with governmental things, right? I'm also getting, I don't know how this would apply to the patrons that I'm aware of at this time. But I'm also getting like some sort of a ceremony at a government building. So typically when you think of a ceremony at a government building, you think of people going to like the justice of the peace to get married, right? Or going to the courthouse to get married. But all of you who are patrons at this time are already married. So I'm wondering if maybe part of your birthday celebration might be the celebration of someone else's nuptials. Maybe someone you know is getting married on that same day, the day of your birthday, and you have the double pleasure of celebrating your birthday and your friend's wedding, being a witness to this ceremony for them. Something else just came through. That's why I started like stumbling over my words. Give me a second. I also just got something around a business or some kind of venture where you've needed, again, some kind of formalization through the government. So this could have been applying for a business license. This could have been incorporating a business. It could be any number of things that, again, they're like legal in their nature. And so maybe what you are going to be doing on that day is having that finished out. You might have been called to the offices to pick up, I don't know that this is a thing that gets done anymore. Honestly, I think everything is electronic now. But there might be some reason why you need to go into offices for that, whether it is to pick up something or if it's to have a meeting. Maybe it's if there is any kind of hearing involved with it, having to make your case to a judiciary of some sort. And then something else just came through too, adjacent to that. And it was maybe the receipt of a certificate or a ceremony commemorating something that you did that was through the government. So for instance, citizenship. I know that one of my patrons recently became a U.S. citizen. So it could be that on this day of your birthday, you're actually going to be having your citizenship ceremony at the same time. Something like that. All right. So I don't feel, though, however, that it is anything that is frightening or bad. Because, see, the sun has moved again, so you guys might be having a hard time seeing this card, and I do apologize for that. But I think it's worth it just to have the sun be part of our reading today. It's so beautiful. And typically, I'm always taping under artificial light, and this just feels so lovely to be able to bring you these messages with nature, with the sun itself being part of it. But yeah, I'm not getting the sense that it is anything scary or bad. It's not like you're being called into the IRS, the tax office, or anything like that, because the energy of your whole day is passion and feeling good. And, to some extent, receiving things that you have manifested or at least desired for a very long time, even if you hadn't deliberately manifested them. All right. And then finally, we have create a spiral. So this is how your inner child is going to feel on your birthday. And it says, I am flowing with the seasons. This 100% goes with what I was just talking about, the going with the flow of that leaf on the air, and just being in alignment. So the big surprise, the overall surprise for your birthday seems to be, number one, that you are living your dream. On that day, you are going to feel as though you are living the life that you want for yourself, that you flowed with the seasons and you are in a season of receiving, that you are in alignment with life, that things are going your way because you're allowing them to. You are not getting in your own way by accepting other people's no's or creating artificial no's of your own. You are not getting in your own way by not letting yourself receive the good that wants to come your way, or projecting stories onto situations or even invitations to come to a government building. Again, this could also just be a park building or, the buildings at the beach. So don't like freak out over that. But yeah, create a spiral. I am flowing with the seasons. And when we talk, and see, we have the number 8 here on this card, and 8 is the number of infinite abundance. So you're definitely going to be feeling on your birthday a sense of all things going your way. So in the movie Gypsy's mom, her name is Rose. She was played by Ethel Merman on Broadway. Notably, she's been played by a ton of people, but notably by Ethel Merman on Broadway. I think also in the original movie from the 60s. I think Ethel Merman played the role in that one too, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Bette Midler has played her in I want to say early 2000s remake of the movie. Bernadette Peters recently revived the role on Broadway. I say recently, but I think it was like 5 or 10 years ago now. But there's this song that Rose sings, Everything's Coming Up Roses. And it's the big finale musical number because the show seems to be about Gypsy, the daughter of Rose, who is a burlesque performer coming out of vaudeville. It is based on a true story. And every single piece of this story that Gypsy experiences, she experiences because of the efforts of her mom. Her mom, Rose, is the quintessential stage mom. We can now say in retrospect, toxically so. But, oh, no, it was, what was her name? Oh, my goodness. It was Auntie Mame who played her in the movie. She just came into my head. What's her name? Oh, my God. I loved her so much. Rosalind Russell. Rosalind Russell played her in the original 60s movie. And so she has given so much to her children, trying to make them into stars, while, of course, not focusing on herself. One, because she has to feed her family, and the only way she knows how to do it is through show business, and she's too old and now has children, so she can't be the star anymore. And I can't remember, but I think it might even be that she didn't have a talent. And then so she had these kids that were really great vaudevillians, but vaudeville went out of style and burlesque became the thing. And so for a long time there was no work, and this family struggled. And then Gypsy, the oldest of the 2 daughters, started doing burlesque, which is, an early form of stripping. And in the end, of course, Gypsy leaves her mom and her family to go and create the life that she wants for herself. And Rose feels devastated, and because she has invested so much in her children, long beyond when they are actually even still her responsibility at all. And of course, like most codependents, did it with the understanding, the belief that she would be receiving something in return. And she feels like she has been left with nothing. So there's this song she sings at the end, Everything's Coming Up Roses. And it's a play on words, as you can tell. And it's really about, it's her turn. The name of the song is actually Rose's Turn. That's the name of the song. But the chorus is Everything's Coming Up Roses. And I say all of that to give you context on what I think your birthday is going to feel like for you. So many things that you have not gotten to do, or thought you shouldn't do, or had to postpone, whatever that is, that piece of what your life has been on your birthday, this upcoming birthday, it's not going to feel like that for you. On this upcoming birthday, everything's coming up yours. Okay, it's your turn, and you are going to feel it 100% and wholeheartedly. Almost this energy of a finally. But you're going to be having so much fun and so excited, and also know that you did something to make this happen, that it won't just feel like finally, because finally implies someone else doing it for us, or giving it to us, or finally granting it to us, right? And this is not a magic genie situation, or something where someone else did this. You did this. There is always a way. You did this, and you're going to feel so connected to this passion of yours, and the joy it's going to bring to you, the receipt of success in having the kind of birthday that you really would want for yourself on this day. You are flowing with the seasons, and it is your season of yes. It is your season to receive. It is your season to celebrate yourself. Okay, this is what I have for you today. Number 1, thank you so much for being my patron. And listen, on the 1st, is it the 1st? No, the 15th. On the 15th of every month is when I am going to put up the poll for you to decide the next month's reading. So look out for that. Talk to you later. Bye. Hello, number 2. Let's find out what you will be surprised by on your next birthday. So jumping right in, the first card you have is Fighting Spirit. Oh no. Okay, so the energy in you that will be magnified on your birthday is the feeling of needing to fight for something. Now, this can be tricky. I wanted to give you guys good messages. That tends to be my desire. But I feel like, what's coming through here is you will be given the opportunity to stand up for yourself, to set boundaries, to speak your mind, to shut down anybody who tries to make you not feel good about yourself on this day. I am getting primarily that this is a family situation, okay? Someone, because, with birthdays, we tend to celebrate them with our family. Sometimes it might just be the immediate family, and sometimes it is the extended family. And whether it is the one or the other, oftentimes those people who we might not see on a regular basis, have a break from normally, they are there because we feel we have to include them on our special day because they're family. And what they bring with them is their baggage, their bullshit. And you have some people in your family that aren't comfortable with anybody else being the center of attention. So that is an energy that is going to come up on that day. Okay. They are going to, it's your day, but they are going to want to make it seem like it's not your day. It's not even like they're going to be so covert as to try to make it like it's their day when it's, because it's so obviously not, but it's more like trying to diminish the day for you, or trying to diminish you within the day. So you're not going to let that happen. Okay, the energy that is going to be magnified in you is knowing that you have the right to exist. First of all, you have the right to celebrate yourself. And you have the right to stand up for yourself. Again, whether that means saying what you need to say or setting a boundary for what you will tolerate from other people. One of the things that I feel compelled to remind you of is that setting a boundary is not controlling the other person's behavior. Setting a boundary is knowing what you will be, what you are willing to tolerate from the other person. And if they continue in a behavior or an energy that does not sit right with you, or is toxic for you, or even just makes you feel uncomfortable, the boundary comes when you go, this is not how I want to function, or this is not how I want to interact, the dynamic I want to have with someone, and you leave the situation. Now, in this case, because it's your day, it's probably going to be at your house or your party, or even a restaurant or someone else's house celebrating you. And you will have the ability to put that person out. So you can't change their behavior, but you can change whether or not they have access to you on that day. If on the rare chance this is a situation where the party is being thrown for you at a different family member's house, and maybe because they're the one throwing the party, they insisted that everybody from the family that y'all are so-called close with needs to be included, because some families, particularly toxic families, are like that. They have to, there's this weird clannish kind of loyalty even to people who are harmful to us, right? And so that person may not, they may give you pushback when you're like, I don't want this toxic person here. Let's call the toxic person, let's just give them a name for simplification in this communication, in this conversation right now. We'll just call them Gerald. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's the name that came to mind. And so Gerald is doing his thing that he always does, and it's starting to wear on you, and you want your birthday to be fun and special, and everyone else is having a good time or trying to have a good time. And Gerald might be actually really good at the dog whistle kind of insults to you, where other people don't hear it, but you hear it, you know it. And this might have always been the dynamic between you. And so if you are in a situation where you are in control of the environment, tell him to go home. He don't get to stay, all right? If it's a situation where someone else in your family is in control of the environment, pull them aside. One thing that will help in a situation like that, where family is a part of the equation, is talking to the individual separately. So I'm not saying Gerald, I'm saying the person whose home it is. Pull them aside. talk to them, say, listen, this is my birthday. I'm having a great time. I appreciate you throwing me this party. Everyone seems to be having a great time, but y'all is really making me feel like crap. And listen, don't be afraid to use your tears. I know that for many of us, it can be hard to show vulnerability or weakness, or we might think that using our tears is, going to diminish our argument, but it really doesn't. Because here's the thing, people hate when people cry. And if you cry, people are more inclined to give you what you want because they just want you to stop crying. And I know that sounds manipulative, and it's I don't mean it to be. It's not a tactic that I use often or at all. I don't use it as a tactic. I've just noticed that. I've seen it happen. When I don't try to fight the tears, when I allow myself to cry, I get results from the other person. So this person that you do love and trust and you feel loves and trusts you, they are not going to want you to be hurting on your birthday. And they will be more inclined to hear you say, I don't want Gerald here. Whether you cry or not, your next statement is, can you ask him to leave? Now, whether or not they choose to, again, is not something you can control. But the fighting spirit is that you showed up for yourself and you asked for what you needed, okay? So on your birthday, you are going to have the opportunity to be in your fighting spirit. The energy of the day is forgiveness. Look at that. Those fit together. They align so well. Forgiveness. So here, the forgiveness is probably going to be on your part. You're going to be forgiving others. And a big part of what I just got is there will be a forgiving of the self. More than likely, it is going to be a situation where the forgiveness happens after the event. Okay. And you will forgive yourself for being in that situation. You will forgive yourself for letting them be a part of your life, because your happy day. Because here's the thing, like, no contact is a thing that we sometimes do when we have family members or people in our lives, whether they're family or not, that are harmful to us, and we decide just not to deal with them anymore, right? But when you're dealing with family, there are so many interwoven dynamics there that typically your issue with one person in that family also has the mix of energies from other people in the family. And it can be hard, if not impossible, to cut yourself off from your entire family, or to cut your entire family out of your life. And so there is then always the hope that it will be better this time. And what I'm getting is that by the end of your birthday, you're going to understand that it will never be better because of the amount of work that it takes for change to happen. And so when you're talking about a whole group, when you're talking about a family, each person would have to do some of the work, which means they would have to have an awareness of what a problem might be, and then a willingness to want to deal with that problem, and then perseverance to get through the growth and healing that comes with them facing that problem. And none of those things are things people typically like to do. So a forgiveness of the self will be part of the energy of your birthday. I'm also getting that there is going to be the opportunity to do little forgivenesses throughout the day, because of the fact that you are going to be, it's going to feel like stuck. But again, stuck is always a choice, okay? Stuck dealing with these people for the day. So like if money had been put down, if deposits had been paid, if decorations had been done and cakes had been made for you to have the celebration that the whole family is a part of, you probably aren't going to feel comfortable walking away and just not having anything to do with it once things go a little bit funky. And so what that means, there's two things. The first is, that's what I mean by stuck is a choice. You could leave. It's just that you're not going to feel comfortable doing it. So you probably won't. Most people would not. Some people would. And, the other world doesn't understand us. But the rest of the world, doesn't understand us. Some people would. But most people won't. You would stick through the day. You would have the event, even though your birthday isn't feeling as good as you would like it to feel, because of the antics or even just energies of these other people. Specific people. So there will be a need for constant forgiveness throughout the event, throughout the day. Letting things slide, So while fighting spirit is part of the energy that you will be in, or is the main energy you will be in, some of that fight may be fighting against being triggered to reactions by other people. Okay, so there's the boundary setting, which we talked about. There's the speaking up for yourself, which we've talked about. There's the allowing yourself to show your true feelings, which is so important. Because sometimes people don't get how big a deal something is if you're always downplaying it. And then the fourth thing is the fighting spirit, not allowing yourself to be triggered. And that's where the forgiveness comes in. As the offending person or persons does or says things, being able to be bigger than them and being able to say and really feel they honestly don't know any better. This is honestly the best they can do. And that will keep you from being triggered into certain kinds of reactions. So that's you fighting the trigger, fighting the dysfunctional dynamic, fighting being pulled into an energy you don't want to be the energy of your day. If your day looks like this instead, how much better for you is that going forward? The next day you will get to feel good about yourself. There will be no apology calls that need to be made, no feelings of overt or suppressed shame. You will be able to feel good about how you handled the situation. And it'll also help elevate you in your relationships with other people as well, because the more we grow beyond the dysfunctions and pettiness of a family system that is toxic or has not served us, the better quality of relationships we're able to have with other people outside of that environment because of the growth within us. Cinema. Okay, so one of the spots that you're going to be hitting up on that day is the movies. Here's what I'm getting for you. I am getting for you to recalibrate at a movie. So whatever time that event happens that you're with your family, don't go to bed in the energy that it creates. Find a late night movie and treat yourself to that. That just came to me so clear. One of the things about, I remember we used to have, my family has a tradition that we go to the movies at Christmas. On Christmas Day, we go to the movies. And it's a fun tradition because, the production studios or the movie studios always make sure they have, good things to watch. And so it's possible that part of your family celebration for your birthday is all of y'all going to a movie together. And why is it that I have this feeling that if that is it, that the movie y'all end up seeing is not even one that you wanted to see? Because it's your birthday and it should be your pick. But there's a dysfunctional figure in this family. I'm getting a dude, which is probably why the name Gerald came up. And he's just kind of like one of those ones that kind of like walks with his chest out and like swinging his arms behind his back like he's hot shit, like the rooster walk, And if you look deeply, you can see that no, even he knows he's not hot shit. But that's his defense mechanism. That's the mask he wears. So his pushing, his or someone else in the family, he or someone else in the family pushing for a movie that's not even the one you wanted to see. And because there was consensus around that movie, that's what y'all ended up seeing. So if the event itself is going to the movies with the family, make sure after you've said goodbye to everybody that night, you go off and do a movie by yourself. If the event is not at the cinema, but is something else, still, after you finish with that family, go off and go to the movie by yourself. You're going to pick the movie you want to see. You're going to enjoy it in your own company. And so it provides you with relaxation, release of the event that happened before, and escapism into, so your brain, instead of dwelling on what just happened, your brain is immediately going to be transported to the world that this movie takes you to. So definitely sometime in the cinema for your birthday. And then finally we have Dance the Rainbow. I love to have beauty in my life. So this is your inner child. This is how your inner child is going to feel on your birthday. And here's what I just heard. Oh, y'all. Okay, so I just got I don't have to do this, Like, I don't, that's not exactly, it's very weird. It's hard to explain how, like, the message comes to me and then how I have to translate it, with words to you. But basically, it's like, I don't have to be in this pile of shit. It's kind of like the energy. It's like, see, I love to have beauty in my life, is what the inner child feels. Meaning the inner child is now even acknowledging that you can be in and have a better environment, better situations with better people in better spaces, that you don't have to keep going back into the lion's den and experiencing these people and this situation or this dynamic over and over and over again. And your inner child is saying to you, okay, enough is enough. Here's what I like. Stop giving me that other thing. I love to have beauty in my life, not that other thing. All right? I think I ended up making that clear. Okay, so this is what I have for you today. Listen, know that I'm sending you the best vibes for your birthday. You have a choice. Remember, our readings are telling us the energy of the now. So having been made aware of this, you can skip all of this and go right to these two if you want. You don't have to, unless there's like your birthday is coming up soon and the arrangements have already been made, So say your birthday is like in October, November, December, January, or sometime next year. Don't set up the family event if you want. Or do one that's super small and just invite the people that you really feel close to and that you can trust. You might have like 3 cousins and an aunt that you love, or a parent in a cousin and a sibling that you feel close to, and pick something that y'all enjoy doing that the others wouldn't do. And then if there's questions and hubbub about it, be like, listen, I really wanted to do XYZ for my birthday and I know these guys like it, but you guys don't. So that's why I kept it small. You can do that. That's the fighting spirit. That's the boundary setting. That's the saying, hey, and the speaking up for the self. This is what I want, so this is what I did. And typically when you say it like that to people, they just accept it. Some people don't. They push. You can just let them talk and then say, okay, well, thanks for sharing with me what you thought, and then get off the phone, or you could just hang up in their face, which is my preferred method. But yeah, so if there's some time before the event, you can choose to skip all of the dramatics and go right to planning a day around the cinema that you would enjoy. For you, it could be doing like 3 movies in a row. Put a little bit of a break between them. I did that once back when I lived in Charlotte. I watched 3 movies like literally back to back. And at some point I got something that might have been like a vertigo. I don't know what it's called. But in the second movie, my perception was off. It was wonky and weird. So, I would do like an hour break between each one if you can. So you could do a day of movies that you love. You can invite different people that you like to each movie. So if you don't want to do it by yourself, you could have like, say you have some work friends, have them join you for the first movie. And then if you have like, again, members of your family that you adore, have them join you for the second movie. And then if you have like your romantic partner or just personal life friends or whatever, have them join you for the third movie, Or you could do all 3 by yourself, or you could do 1 of the 3 by yourself, or 2 of the 3 by yourself. There's so many possibilities, right? And have beauty in your life, because that's what your inner child is telling you she wants for your birthdays going forward, whether you're able to start it with this birthday or birthdays coming forward in the future. Okay, take care, and I will see you next. Oh, yes, the poll. The poll for voting will be will be in the feed on the 15th of every month. So look out for that so you can choose the topic for next month's Pick a Card. Bye. Hello, number 3. Welcome to your reading. So I am very excited to find out with you what will surprise you on your next birthday. As you can see, I have pre-plucked some cards, but I have not seen these yet. So let's find out what's going on. We're going to start off with the energy that will be magnified. Yes. The energy that will be magnified in you is 0 fucks given. So you are going to know that you know that you know that you know on that day. It is your day, and you are not tolerating nothing from no one. You are not deviating from your plan. You are only allowing for good surprises to happen. I am actually getting very much an improvisational feel to the day, right? Like just like flying by the seat of your pants without a care in the world. So there isn't a stringent itinerary. There isn't any kind of agenda to be met by you, or an agenda from you or from anybody else in your life. This is definitely different than what we saw in the other two piles. It's definitely the energy of you fully self-actualizing for this birthday, but doing it in the moment, as opposed to like pre-planning the exact birthday you want. You're just like, nah, I'm winging it. Nah, this is about me, bitch. I'm having this day. And you're really going to be enjoying it. A big part of it is embracing your shadow. This might feel difficult for some of you, because I know who my patrons are, some of you to accept, but embracing your shadow is part of it. Those things that society has taught you to deem as negative, but you might have a secret interest in or a secret desire for, or maybe it's not even that society has taught you it's negative or bad. It could even be that you have decided that because of your age or because of your gender or because of your race, it is not something that's available to you. Whatever the boundaries or the limitations are, you aren't having it on this day, okay? You 100%, if you will embrace your shadow, you're going to have an even more fulfilling birthday. You're going to have a fulfilling birthday anyway. I definitely am getting that energy for you, because again, you're just going to be like living moment to moment as you, for you, designing the day by you, okay, as you go, as opposed to a preconceived notion. Because a lot of times when we pre-plan things or other people pre-plan it for us, the agenda becomes the master of the day instead of your joy. Your joy should be the focus of your birthday, your enjoyment, your excitement, your passion. But when there is a schedule, there is an agenda, or even just goals, because it's my birthday, so I think I should have and you decided ahead of time, then it becomes trying to make sure those things happen, or make sure they happen in a certain way. And it is a little bit like being in prison, as opposed to just really getting to experience the day itself. So embrace that which you might consider to be your darkness or your shadow side. I'm not saying go out here and hurt other people. You know that. I'm not saying do anything that's going to hurt you deliberately. You know that. It's just that the things that you have pushed down or not allowed yourself to have, feel, or think, embracing those as part of your day is definitely careful. It's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is me. Okay, manifestation is the energy of the day. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've already spoken very, very, very deeply about that, because this is what happens when we are going moment by moment. Listen, we are always manifesting. We are always manifesting. We manifest through the things we say, the things we do, the choices we make, what we write down. Sometimes we are seeing the manifestation come to us. Sometimes what we're doing is setting up the manifestation to come to us at another time. But when you are living without agenda, when you are just, it's very much like improv. Like if you, like I'm an actor. And so one of the most fun things to do, particularly when I was in college, was improv, because there was not a script to follow. And I was just making it up on the spot. Now, improv can be scary for people, particularly if you're not good at thinking on your feet. But that's the point I'm getting to, is the thinking on your feet energy of improv is what is going to be the energy of your day, which will result in instant manifestation being the energy of your day. So the thinking on your feet, doing it by the moment, living moment to moment, that is the energy you will be in with your zero fucks given attitude. And then it's also going to be the energy of the day, because you're going to be creating it as you go. And again, we are always creating it as we go, but you're going to be so aligned with your own personal magic on your birthday that you are going to see your wishes or dreams or whatever for that day realize in the moment. Or actualize, I should say, actualize in the moment. Okay, the place that you will visit or go to is, you have window. That's interesting. And it says framed windows, glass portal, window sill. Very, very interesting. So I'm definitely getting something about it being a place or places with magnificent views, where what you see inspires you. As you look out on the horizon, for instance, if you're at a beach, that would be very inspiring. Or if you're someone who likes the mountains and, you're up at the mountains and you're looking out and you see the beautiful view. But I'm definitely getting something where you can see out and see magnificence. And I'm also getting, in particular, seeing magnificence that you don't see every day. So I do feel as though travel is going to be part of your birthday. It could be, it definitely doesn't feel as though it's large travel, because so much of what we've gotten so far is about deciding things spur of the moment. And, unless you happen to be independently wealthy and can just be like, you know what, I'm about to go to Paris and jump on a flight without having planned it. That's not what this feels. This feels more like it's a day trip kind of energy. So like in my case, I live in Glendale, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. The beach that I tend to go to most is Santa Monica, which is another city also just outside of Los Angeles. So all three of these are separate cities: Los Angeles, Glendale, and Santa Monica. And so Santa Monica technically counts as a day trip for me, even though it is in my same county. And people think of it, people who don't live here think of it as the same city, but it's not. It's technically a day trip because it is another city. So it could be something as simple as that, but somewhere where you go and you get a sense of view, something you can do in a day, something you can decide on, someplace you can decide to go on that same day. So for my North Carolina, my Charlotte peeps that are patrons, it could be going up to Boone for the day, But I'm definitely getting the energy of visiting someplace. And really, I don't even think for y'all in Charlotte it is Boone, because I know y'all have been to Boone. It feels as though it's a place you haven't been to before, where you're going to get to see something that is beautiful and relaxing at the same time. Something can be beautiful and inspiring, beautiful and intimidating. For you, this is going to be an environment that is beautiful and relaxing at the same time. And maybe that's why I keep getting beach, beach, beach. All right. And then finally, your inner child will be feeling, first of all, wishes, right? We have moon wishes as the keyword, and it says, the moon shows me patience. Now, this is very interesting because it feels like what's happening here is you have gotten to the place where we have a zero fucks given kind of day, where you can just choose to do what you want as you want throughout the day, instantly manifest things, right? Even to the point of going on a trip. And for your inner child, it's like, it's the opposite energy, because she had the wishes and she had to wait until you became this person to be able to receive them. So the moon shows me patience. She has been patient. The moon shows me patient could refer to the fact that, the moon has different phases, different cycles, right? Or rather, there's a cycle of the moon as it goes through its different phases. And that's what life has been for you. That's what life is for all of us. And so this is you at a later phase. This is like your full moon phase, right? This would be new moon, making the wish, even though we are looking at a full moon clearly. I can see that. But the inner child, the child that you were, who did not have agency, and self-efficacy, who could not manifest in the moment doing whatever she wants, by virtue of the fact that she was a child. Not even that she was not powerful, but just that she was a child, and children don't have that ability. I am stating the obvious. I realize that. Sorry, guys. But and now she gets to watch you, or gets to experience with you, through you, the choices that you get to make on this birthday. And there's just this like calm feeling of fulfillment there. It's the fulfillment of the wishes, which is what the full moon actually is. So you're going to be in a full moon phase on your birthday, and the inner child in you is going to enjoy your full moon phase. So I don't think I finished the thought about the moon and its phases and how that can teach us patience. It's because, we start with the new moon. We start with the new moon, and then the moon waxes as it grows, and so then we get like the first quarter moon, and then we get the second quarter moon, which I believe is actually called I call it a half moon because I'm not an astrologer. I say this all the time. So and then the third quarter moon, and then the full moon, right? So the moon has and so the whole time you're watching it get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger is the point, regardless of what we call it. That's the point. And that takes time. It takes 28 full days for the moon to do that. It doesn't, similar to most of our wishes, typically, not always, but typically, particularly the wishes of a child, don't get immediately actualized. And so the moon teaches me patience is the message here. And it's like that inner child in you is going, yes, I'm glad I was patient because now I get to be the zero fucks given girl. And I am manifesting everything I want on my birthday. You're going to have so much fun. I'm definitely getting two energies here for you. Fun and relaxation. And I'm getting that it's possible that your sense of relaxation is going to be coming as a result of letting yourself have the fun, including the embracing of the shadow. You may have a tendency to restrict yourself too much, either to conform to societal norms or to conform to doctrines that are part of religious systems that you believe, or even just, maybe you were born a naturally reticent or shy person. And so for you, it's a breaking through all of those limitations, all of those barriers, all of those systems to let yourself be the person who enjoys, be the person who has fun with, fun with the moment, all parts of the self, embracing all parts of the self. Okay, so this is what I have for you today, number threes. Thank you so much for being my patrons. I absolutely love having this outlet. I didn't realize until I was doing this reading how great this is for me too, because, because of the way YouTube works, I only do one topic there. It happens to be a topic I love, so I'm definitely passionate about it. No shade being thrown on the money readings and career readings and business readings I do on YouTube. But it is just the one topic, and it has been fun for me today to sit down with these three piles of readings and bring you messages that had nothing to do with money and money mindset and business or career, but something completely. Thank you. Thank you guys for choosing this topic. It has been so fun for me to read on. On the 15th is when you will see the poll for next month's topic. So be sure to look out for that and cast your vote. And in the meantime, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you the next time. Bye.